How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Treasvre with us today. They can say their names and if they have any other secret members that they're going to come into this video chat.
I guess we'll go first. I'm Sabrina. I play synths and do some singing, and yeah, that's about it for me.
I'm Julian, and I just play guitar.
I'm Evan. I play drums and do some audio production and synth programming stuff.
I'm Sam. I do bass and vocal.
Jason, I play guitar.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys for being here, first of all. I'm sure, you guys have a lot on the press junket. I've seen you guys do a couple different interviews, but the first question I'm sure you get asked this a lot, is how did you guys start out Treasvre and how did you guys all come together? Because there's a lot of you, so I'm very curious how this all formulated,
It's like a creative tumbleweed, I guess you could say.
Definitely an odd bunch.
Julian and Jason playing music together, right?
Yeah, no, go for it, Sam. Yeah, Jason and I knew each other for a while. Jason and I played music together for a while, and we started having some songs we wanted to work on and stuff like that. So then we were hanging out with Evan, we're friends with Evan, and Evan plays drums. So we're like, hey, you want to jam with us? And then it slowly kind of turned into like this band thing. And so Evan's like, yeah, let's get, my girlfriend at the time, Sam, to play bass. So then Sam hops in, and then we have Sabrina, who was an old friend to Evan. Yeah, I know this girl that plays keyboards. So then we had Sabrina join. And we just kind of formed a crew as we went along.
We're still enlisting, right? We'll just continue growing the band.
Yeah, we're trying to get like 20 people by 2022.
Oh my God. Well, good luck. I mean, that seems like quite a goal to ascertain is have as many people as you possibly can on like one stage. That would be I feel like I would want to see it, I just want to see like just the mass of people on all. It's like, what do you play? I play the triangle, for just a specific section of the song, but it's really it's cool, and like I said, I had the chance to check out some of your stuff before they came on. Shouts to Erica for sending them over, and the way that you guys kind of create stuff is very interesting. Like I don't know if you guys kind of take inspiration from like post rock at all, but it definitely has that like very like large sound, and I thought that was super interesting because I don't typically get a lot of those sorts of artists, so whenever I have the opportunity to have a band on like that, it's always very interesting for me as being like a musical nerd and enjoying that sort of stuff. So I kind of guess that dovetails into the next question, which would be, who are you guys influenced by? I guess you guys can kind of go individually and tell me who you guys inspired you to start playing your instrument.
Same order, yeah, if you want to go, Sabrina.
Okay, let's see. Well, I grew up listening to classical music. That was always on in my household when I was a kid. And then I started playing saxophone in like 3rd or 4th grade, and I played alto sax all the way through high school. So that's kind of how I learned music. And then for my 16th birthday, I got a synthesizer. And at that time, I was also kind of, writing songs on the guitar, just kind of experimenting with songwriting. And then I kind of discovered 80s music, and it all went from there. I'm really into post-punk and new wave, and a lot of those bands from the 80s super inspire me. There's a whole huge list. I couldn't even name a few without disrespecting the many other artists that have influenced me. But I love rich textures. I love fat synth bass. I just love that kind of girthy electronic sound.
Girthy electronic. Good job. Oh man. Yeah, so I grew up actually playing, I played flute and piano growing up in like elementary school and middle school and stuff like that, and band. But at that time, I wasn't like super invested in music. I mean, I really like the Beatles and that kind of stuff, but it wasn't really until I got into high school and I got into like, all the stereotypical metal bands like Metallica, Megadeth, Iron Maiden, all that kind of stuff and Black Sabbath, of course, that I decided to pick up guitar and stop playing piano and flute because I thought they were really uncool at the time.
Fair.
And yeah, just play guitar, and then from there I don't know, I've taken from a ton of different musical genres, just listening to like different guitar players from like folk music and classical guitar music, into a lot of like 90s like weird experimental like and like post rock and stuff like that. So I'm kind of all over the place. Girthy electronic guitar music.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we all, like, everyone in the band kind of brings a different sort of influence. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Julian brings like the heavy riffs, and then like Jason brings kind of like you know, some of the more like plucky and complicated arpeggios and rhythmical stuff and all that.
Well.
And then yeah, Sabrina's our like synth rave party, and I don't really know what I do. I just play drums. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like, so I guess everyone's given back.
Evan, don't just be yourself.
All right. Yeah, I started playing drums in like 7th grade, I think, and
Nice.
then yeah, I was really into like jazz fusion. I studied with Steve Smith actually for a little bit.
Oh, wow.
He was the drummer
Awesome.
in Journey, and yeah, like lots of jazz and prog rock and that kind of stuff in high school, and then later on started getting more into metal, and you know, Julian has been a big influence on that, and definitely post rock. That's definitely on the radar, and definitely influences the stuff I try to influence with the band. Just kind of like that heavy, epic sound.
It's definitely heavy and epic for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess with me, like really, my mom was a big influence for me in terms of music growing up. Like, she was a cool mom. She was a young mom, and so she listened to a ton of, like, Portishead, Nine Inch Nails. There was, like, Massive Attack, a bunch of, like, down-tempo sort of, like, rock music and industrial stuff. So, like, I grew up listening to that kind of stuff, and that influenced me to want to pick up acoustic guitar. So I started learning to write songs and play acoustic guitar, and then I moved to, like, bass more recently just to kind of fill in the holes of the band. But, definitely a lot more metal and a lot more rock as a result of our guitarists here. They've influenced, I think, all of us.
Jason, did you have anything to add?
Growing up, I liked a lot of things. My mom was like super into country, and then my dad was kind of more of a blues guy. But in like middle school, me and my brother went to the library, and we rented a bunch of CDs, and we got like Iron Maiden, and it's all been downhill from there.
God bless the libraries.
I like how he emphasized the library as if like I might be too young to know what a library is. You know? He's like, you don't know what a library is. You don't know what a CD is.
It was the best. We get books, we get music. I miss the library.
I feel like I'm young, but I'm not like a baby. So like well, it's funny because people always say, they're like, man, you're like, why don't you just like stream music? And then I'm like, no, I can't. I was like, I need to have physical music, like a CD or like a vinyl or something. And they're like, you're just super old now. And I'm like, no. I was like,
That's
just
part
like
of
that's
it.
it. That's important, you know. People like physical music, so I don't know.
Hold on to the music.
It's the artwork.
It's the artwork,
like,
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I'm glad you guys understand. You know, I just needed somebody to understand my feelings on that. You know, but honestly, it was so cool to kind of obviously go through that, and it gives me just like an idea of like, again, from what I've already listened to already. It just kind of broadens my horizons, and being like, now when I go back and listen to your music a little bit more like intently, then I'm like, wow, I can pick out certain things that you guys have said in this interview, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like that kind of matches up with this. Like now the influences kind of line up where they're supposed to be, and that's definitely cool. And then obviously I have like kind of a follow-up question for Evan, since he does like the production aspect of it. I guess, how do you find that like middle ground of like tailoring everything for everybody, since you guys kind of have like an amass of different like genres and like pull from different artists and stuff? Because I can imagine that would be pretty tough for anyone, but more or less someone in the band specifically.
Well, we try to record every last little idea that comes up, and then I mean, it's a lot of trial and error, to be honest. And a lot of, hey, let's try this. Hey, let's try this. And we're all very like democratic in terms of you know, like everyone kind of gets to have their say, and we field ideas from everybody in the band. And yeah, I mean, with 5 voices, like in terms of guitars, drums, bass, multiple synthesizers, and vocals, it can be a little tricky to find space for everything. But yeah, I mean, we just you know, use our ears intently and try to pull back where we need to, and add more where we need to. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. It's just a lot of time spent in the practice space with trying a lot of different versions of the same song.
Every permutation of how the song could be
right, and like rearranging sections and stuff, and yeah.
I feel like next time. Anyway, go. You can go.
That's actually one thing we're kind of working on right now this year, is seeing how we can kind of tweak our songwriting methodology, because the music we put out so far we're really proud of, and we love to hear it, and it turned out really well, kind of how we envisioned it, which was a really cool process to go through. But we noticed going through the songwriting and recording process, it was just sometimes with the music, just kind of a lot of cooks in the kitchen and just a lot of competing priorities, I guess. And so what we're trying to do now is just see how we can pull it back and maybe work more with like empty space, and work more with maybe not everybody has to play their instrument at every single point in the song. You know?
We don't want people getting bored, you know, like everybody wants to play the part of their instrument, like in the song. But
and I think also like doing more like pre-production in terms of writing, like we kind of got a more elaborate recording setup in our practice space now, and you know, actually doing multi-track stuff and overdubbing, and really being able to play back and hear what's fitting and what's not, and also when there's too much, like kind of like what Sabrina was saying, like, you know, figuring out how to use empty space, and maybe there's only one instrument or one voice happening at a time, which I know sounds like a very revolutionary idea. It can be tricky to get there actually when there's 5 people in the band.
Yeah, it's more difficult than it sounds.
Yeah, there's a lot of dynamics involved, and I appreciate that you guys have like actively thought about that, and you know, plan on doing that in the future. Obviously, it kind of, I'm excited to see how the future of Treasvre is after this, because you know, it's very interesting to see what I've listened to already and kind of see you guys evolve. And you know, I hope that Evan doesn't lose any more hair trying to fix everything together. You know, that's my worry. You know, so I'm just trying to be one for the people here. But the next question, guys, keeping it more current, what have you guys been jamming recently? What's on the Spotify? What have you guys been listening to lately?
Reverse order?
Sure.
Jason.
All right. We recently just made a playlist, like a band playlist, of all the songs that we kind of like taken inspiration from, and kind of like references. Because a lot of times, like we said, there's a lot of us, and when we're writing, it gets a little complicated. So it's actually Julian's idea. It's a great idea of like just a bunch of songs that we like, that we want to be like, that we can take reference from and be like, oh, let's do something like this part in this song. I guess one of the songs that I put on there that I've been listening to a lot lately is a Kanye song called "I Can't Hold My Liquor," which I love. I love Kanye's. I think he's awesome. But like stuff like that, some stuff that we kind of wouldn't play normally, but something in there that we can take inspiration from to kind of keep us fresh and new sounds coming into what we're playing.
Yeah, I think we've been like some of the stuff that I was adding in there, just like I've been listening to. So "Have a Nice Life," "Miserable" is another like smaller band that I think is great as well. "Marriages" is also a huge influencer. Like Emma Ruth Rundle is another sort of folky, dark folk stuff, for me at least.
Yeah, actually that playlist is a great reference, because we all kind of added like 5 or 6 songs that we like want to emulate, that we're super into right now. And yeah, from what I put on there, it was Trent Moller, who's like a Danish electronic, like very dark minimalist electronic music.
Okay.
And Chelsea Wolfe is on there. I take a lot of inspiration from her. and a lot of those like really, really heavy, dark sounds. And Blonde Redhead, actually, it was another one that's on there. Just the way they kind of weave songs together is always kind of I'm like mystified by it, and love that.
And they're so different. Yeah.
And all their songs are so different, like even among all their different albums, and somehow they still like have a cohesive sound. So definitely something I'm very inspired by.
Jules?
You called the reverse order, buddy.
You know, right? What did I put? So, of course, the album that I've been listening to the most that I put songs on our playlist was Steven Wilson's new album, The Future Bites. It's awesome. If no one's listened to it, it's definitely more electronic than like a lot of his other prog and like rock stuff. There's a lot of songs on there that don't have any guitars, which is like a little different for him. So that's been really cool. I've also been listening to like a lot of I don't know if you would be classified as like math rock and stuff like that. So like Sarah Longfield, if people listen to that kind of stuff, which is she's super cool. And then a very random thing that I've been listening to, which I did not put on the playlist, guys, is Ted Nugent's first album is actually really sick. It like, I got like a guitar instructional thing from like Ted Nugent on like a YouTube recommended, watching it. And then I'm like, oh, some of these riffs are kind of cool. I'm like, I've never really listened to Ted Nugent. So like I went back and I was like checking it out and I'm like, it's like very 70s like hard rock kind of stuff.
Hilarious.
That didn't make it on the playlist, but that's just something else.
We're all thankful.
Yeah.
Damn.
Let's see. We're talking about the playlist.
What have you been listening to?
Yeah, I put Lady Dawn on the playlist. I got back into them recently. One of my favorite bands from high school. They came out with an album like last year, I think. And I just love Lady Dawn. Obviously inspired by like the dual female vocal setup, which is similar to what me and Sam have. And I just really enjoy their whole vibe, their whole sound. It's so just engulfing for me. It just really kind of takes me back to this nostalgic place, but at the same time, it like sounds really futuristic. So I'm super into that. But like, I kind of wanted to bring it back to like the whole point of the playlist was actually kind of getting back to like our whole songwriting goal of, kind of being more intentional with everything. Because last year, right before the pandemic, we recorded a bunch of music. We went to Atomic Garden in Oakland and worked with Jesse Nichols as our sound engineer. And then like 2 weeks later, everything shut down. And we're like, okay, we were hoping to tour to promote this. We were hoping to do shows to promote this music. And so we kind of had a regrouping and decided to like put out all these, I guess, like double singles. We had pairs of songs that we released, 4 sets of pairs over the course of the year. And they just sort of kind of went together according to theme when we sat down and figured out how we wanted to release them. And so I think what we're really trying to do is kind of like lean into more of that method of working where it's like songwriting isn't necessarily like, hey, like what riff sounds cool next to this other cool sounding riff, but it's like, what is the actual feel that we're going for? What is the theme that we want to convey? What are like the concepts and emotions, and really set out songwriting with like those things in mind. So the playlist kind of spawned from that like whole endeavor so that we can have like some concrete examples of like, okay, we want to create this sort of emotion like this song has, so it's all kind of tied together. We're as we're learning and growing and evolving as a band, there's always room for improvement. So we're just, on that path, I guess.
There we go. Well, quite the answers. The Ted Nugent one threw me for a loop. I still don't get it. I'm like, man, YouTube recommends the weirdest stuff. But if you guys want to check out the playlist, I'll leave a link in the description. Go follow it. Go check it out. It's always probably got something fresh on it, and probably not Ted Nugent. And I hope I don't eat my own words right now. So definitely go check it out. Very excited about that, and I'm gonna have to go give it a listen later today, actually. But the next question, guys, is obviously a question pertaining to your band. For those people who maybe aren't familiar with your music and they want to get into Treasvre and stuff like that, what is one song off of, you know, any of the things that you've released that you would recommend to like new fans that are like, you know what, this is like quintessential Treasvre, you know?
Should we all need to agree on? That's gonna be tricky.
1, 2, 3, Devils.
Devil. Yes.
Devils.
Devils.
Yeah.
So we have a song, called Devils that we're actually releasing a music video for it that we filmed last year. So that's going to be coming out in April on April 2nd. So you'll start seeing some teasers for that. But I feel like that's a song that it's a little bit more cohesive. You can hear it's shorter, but you can still hear all the different influences kind of packed in there. So it's like heavy, there's slow parts, kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's a good marriage of all of our styles. And like,
yeah.
It's kind of a banger too. Like it gets the crowd going. It when we were playing live shows, it was like our favorite show to close the show with because we really enjoy playing it and it has a lot of energy. And so kind of, you know, be a good note to end our set on.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, like that song turned out really great. Just everything with the recording, mixing, mastering, like all came together really well. And it's just a good example of what our sound is.
There we go. Well, when Devils comes out, or it's probably already out, it might be out around this time actually. So go check it out. I'll leave a link for that too. I'm sure everybody is going to go check it out. It's very good. I'm excited to listen to it. But the next question, guys, a fun one. If you guys could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Oof.
Oh, man.
Oh, I have my answer.
This comes up a lot, actually.
Well, we're going to settle the score, and you guys are going to find out what song truly you're going to cover.
Yeah, if one of you guys pick the same one as me, then I'm like, we're good. Yeah, I think I know.
I don't know if I have one off the top of my head.
I really want to cover In the Air Tonight.
Ooh.
Wish
I
we
want to do
have
like a banger version of Phil Collins. In the
Yeah.
Air Tonight. Yeah.
That's a great song. I think that would be a fun song to cover because, like I brought up before, with the empty space, there's not a whole lot going on in that song. There's like two instruments and Phil Collins' voice, and it sounds awesome. You know what I mean? So it's like a really good example of like how you don't have to, you know, fill up every single second with something, you know.
It's an exercise in restraint for everyone.
Yeah.
Get a sense of when to not play.
Yeah, but I mean that song, it's like we talk a lot about atmosphere and building atmosphere and kind of directing a mood with the different textures, and that song is definitely up there. Like no one hears that song and doesn't get super into it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right. Also, it's Phil Collins. Like,
Yeah, we're also we all love Phil Collins dearly.
Yeah.
A lot of Genesis fans here.
Oh yeah.
We love Phil Collins, and I love the I just have to call out that part in the Air Tonight where it has that like reverse cymbal, and he goes, "I remember," and it's just like, you know, it's like it just hits you. It's right there. I love it.
Sounds like there's a lot of agreement on the song, actually. It's
Sounds
like
like we're all gonna cover this
I guess
song.
Conversation would be more diverse. Yeah,
listen, I'm a miracle
Didn't you
worker.
cover it once?
we did cover it one time, drunkenly at a Halloween party, but we need to do it justice.
We need to
We need
That doesn't count.
Yeah, we don't
We shall not mention that.
There we go.
Jason,
Well,
you have a song you want to cover? Or
Yeah.
You agree with that too?
Wait,
Jason,
I said, are you in agreement with that too? Or?
Are you on the board
I
with the
didn't
air?
hear what you said. What?
are you on the board with In the Air Tonight?
Yeah, I'm in the air. right now.
You are a miracle worker. It's like going to band therapy. We all agree.
There we go.
It is.
Look at that. It brought everyone together, guys. Well, go check out their cover. And listen, this is on the internet, so people hold people to things on the internet. All I'm saying,
No, they're not.
you're gonna have to do it. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I'm gonna say it's a very likely thing that should happen. That I don't know, people will probably be upset. I don't know how rabid your fan base is. So
We won't let you down.
Yeah. We have a couple super fans.
yeah, they're gonna be in your DMs like, come on guys, when do you do this? Like, you know. So next question, guys, another fun one. Favorite food to eat? What's your go-to?
Oh man.
Ramen.
Yeah. Maybe. Well, favorite. This is hard.
Ramen. It's not hard for me. It's ramen.
Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna say ramen too. I'm
Ramen.
gonna say ramen.
Mine's a little basic, but I can eat pizza any day, forever, always. Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like for weeks on end, I don't care. I'll eat pizza.
See,
I'm
that's
gonna go
me,
with
but
the
like
San Francisco answer and say that my favorite food is burritos.
yeah. I might switch mine to burritos actually.
There's no
Like-
facts, Julian.
I like ramen, but I can't eat it for every meal like Jason. And I feel like if it's your favorite food, you able to
Go.
Oh my god.
love it like Jason loves pizza. And I feel that way towards burritos. So anyway, Sam.
I am a sushi lover. I think I could eat it every day, morning, noon, and
Yep.
night. But
I
You
agree.
gotta watch out though. There was that guy in like Southeast Asia who ate sushi every day, and then he had a bunch of worms.
ew, thanks,
Yeah.
Sabrina. What, like mercury poisoning?
Yeah, you end up with mercury too.
Yeah.
Hey man, with all the climate stuff going on, it's fine. I'll just eat sushi every day. It's not a big deal.
That is
What about you? What's your favorite food?
man. I was gonna say sushi, but now I'm gonna backtrack that. Very. I don't know if I
All
can
for the
eat that.
Team
Join the Worms and Mercury Club. It's great.
I feel like I have to. I feel like since I'm on the East Coast, I have to either say pizza or cheesesteak. That's like classics,
Ooh.
you know, for the area. Like
Pizza
Oh,
sometime.
man.
A long time.
that's
Yeah,
that's
cheesesteak is not.
cheesesteak. I don't know. I feel like because I've been to California, and I swear to God, I've never had a better burrito in my life. So like,
That's
I mean,
correct.
I feel like California's got burrito on lock. That's all I'm saying. Like if there was if they had like a state food, it'd just be a burrito. Like that's what I feel collectively is
Hell
California.
yeah.
California kind of looks like a burrito too.
California
Yeah,
does kind of look like a burrito. Yeah. So
We are like.
this is
our
our petition
flag.
for California.
It should
All
be the
I'm
same-
saying
same
is
with the
California
turtle
has
flag
to
as your place.
incorporate a
Yeah.
burrito in their state flag at somewhere, you know, like
Agreed.
Get
So-
in there.
we can get Treasures on board, guys. Let's go to California. Let's make it happen. But no, I feel like I have to rep to my state, so I have to go with like a cheesesteak or something or pizza. Those are quintessential East Coast foods.
It's hard to find a good cheesesteak in California.
That's so fun.
To be honest.
I can imagine.
So-
I can imagine.
It
So.
goes both ways. It goes both ways.
But the next question, guys, another fun one, obviously music related. If you guys could pick somebody to collaborate with, whether it be a guest spot in your next record or a producer you'd like to work with in the future, who would it be?
Ugh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a
Hard
tough one.
one.
I think we know Julian's answer.
Wait, what is my answer? Tell it to me. No. Like he would eat me. He's just crazy.
Like a burrito.
He'd shoot you with a bow and arrow and like roast you over the fire.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Like sometimes I want to think of like a famous person I want to collaborate with, like a star, like some like crazy famous person. But then I also feel like there's tons of local people that are like our friends that would be super fun to collaborate with. Maybe even more fun than like, yeah,
Ted Nugent.
like whoever I can't even think of right now.
I mean, yeah, there is that whole thing about like, you know, do you want to play at Madison Square Garden or do we want to play at the Fillmore in San Francisco? I mean, me personally, it would be a little bit cooler to play at the Fillmore because that's where I grew up going to shows and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I mean, one producer that I really admire that I would love to collaborate on is Richard D. James, also known as Aphex Twin. One of the more influential electronic producers of the modern era. Just a huge hero of mine, and it would just be a dream to like, you know, be in a studio with someone like that. You know, that would be like, you know, the star eyes emoji. But like Julian said, I mean, there's so many great local bands and so much great local talent. I mean, that's actually something we kind of want to do a little bit more of, is kind of collaborate with other artists. Maybe we could get like a remix album at some point. I don't know. It's just an idea.
No, I think it's cool. It's like building a community, right? It's like figure out where you fit in the local music scene and like how you can kind of become more embedded in it by doing that kind of type of stuff and like doing remixes. And so I think that would be cool. I don't have anybody in particular that comes to mind.
Yeah, it's tough. I would love for Aphex Twin to do a remix of one of our songs. So I'm on board with Sabrina.
Heck yeah. You know what cool?
Do you have any for us, Jason?
I mean, there's so many, but one comes to mind. One of my favorite bands of all time, The Fall of Troy. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Oh, yeah. I like this guy. I knew I liked this guy. But their guitarist, songwriter, Thomas Erak. I think he's just a cool dude. I think he writes good music, and I would love to collaborate with him.
There we go. Well, we have Aphex Twins and Thomas Erak. Let's just combine them all together. Let's just make it. Let's make it happen, guys. You know, the internet. Well,
and Ted Nugent.
And Ted. The Nuge. Well, if you guys would like to see the collaboration, you know what you have to do. You got to @ people on Twitter. This was what Audio Addiction's all about here. We've been doing this since day one. We're going to continue doing it. So if you want to see that happen, make sure to let people know that you want an Aphex Twins, you want Fall of Troy, you want this just massive collaboration with Treasvre. So let's make it happen. Make the magic work. You know, listen, that's all I'm saying. I'm one for the people here. That's all I'm saying. That's all I need. That's what I need people to know, is that I'm out here. So go check it out. Hopefully, you know, listen, I'm gonna put all my chips on it and hope that it happens. Fingers crossed. But
it's gonna happen. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next question, guys, is a fun one. If you guys could compile a dream tour lineup, who would be on it? And to make it more interesting, each one of you pick one band, and that will be your tour.
Oh boy.
Okay. To tour with, or to go see a show of all these bands?
I feel like you got to tour with them. Like that's the vibe, you know.
Jason, you're just gonna drop out and be like, I'm just gonna watch the show.
I just want to sit back and watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm replaceable.
Be on tour. No.
What's your band, Jason?
Oh God, so many. Let's go Coheed and Cambria. Why not?
Ooh. I knew it.
Yeah.
Coheed has to make an appearance. Coheed has to make an appearance in every interview.
Yeah.
They're the best.
It's gonna be an interesting tour, guys. Everybody else has their.
You got Coheed already. This is quite the milestone here.
Well, I would pick Of Montreal.
Ooh, yeah.
Great band to see live. If anyone ever gets a chance to see Of Montreal live, they put on an amazing show. Also, the frontman of Montreal, Kevin Barnes, is kind of one of my musical heroes. I think he is super brilliant and has a great stage presence and just seems like an all-around kooky, crazy, creative person. So I think that would be a cool artist to tour with.
I'm gonna go with who I mentioned earlier and say Blonde Redhead.
Ooh, okay.
I knew you were going to say
They're
that.
also fantastic live. Like when you see them live, it's like you can't imagine that they're only 3 people and there's like so much going on, and like all their music is like super intricate, but extremely tasteful. So I would love to share the stage with them.
I don't know.
Still loading here. No.
Yeah.
It's such a like, I guess, a toss of like stuff, but I would say thinking of something more like emotional and like something that really channels mood. I mean, that's something that's big for me and really can be like a life changer in seeing live concerts, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, great. They say like Nick Cave would be amazing, but that's like definitely not really like in the vein with what we do. But that guy just knows how to command a crowd and like really like put off a mood. And I think that that's really cool. Or even Shearwater actually is probably more close to what we would say, maybe.
Yeah,
Shearwater's great, and like
they're awesome live too.
Yeah, seeing them live I didn't actually know anything about them when I saw them the first time, and it just floored me because there's such emotional like gravity like in the way that he sings and just puts it out there that was just like blew me away. So amazing stuff.
I'm torn. I kind of want to say M83, but I also want to say Boris, and I might go with Boris. If this is the lineup, I feel like you need like a little like hard sonic assault to kick off this show. You know?
This
but
is
yeah,
quite the assembly of bands. If I have to do say so myself, this is probably about as far-reaching as I've had when I've asked this question.
This isn't really a tour.
It's a festival, yeah. It's the Treasvre Festival, you know.
Treasure Fest.
there we go.
Awesome.
Not to be confused with Treasure Island Music Festival.
Coming to your local area in I don't know when, but whatever. We'll insert time date here. But definitely very cool. Love the creativity and the bands, of course. I'm a little biased because I'm a Coheed fan, so I have to agree with Jason on that one. But I got you. I know. Next question, guys, is another fun one. Obviously, it feels a little bit alien to talk about it, but what was one of your favorite shows that you've ever gone to?
I'll go first because I know the answer.
This is it.
No, there was this festival I went to in like 2013 or 2012, and it only happened 2 years. It was in Monterey, California, and it was on the Monterey County Fairgrounds, and it was like half carnival with like funhouse and Ferris wheel and carnival games, and then the other half was music festival. And it was a really cool venue because like in between bands you could like go like, you know, toss rings at the jar and like win a stuffed fish or something. But it was a really great
Sounds delicious.
It was a really great lineup. And one of the electronic duos that I really admire, Purity Ring, was playing there. If you've never listened to Purity Ring, they have a really awesome, unique sound. I'd never seen them live before. And they had this really cool setup, like these glowing orbs that were like hooked up to like the percussionist mallets. So like as he's drumming, like these orbs are lighting up, and as the set is unfolding, it's dusk and the sun is setting, the sky is pink, and there's all these string lights above the cloud, like twinkling in the fog, and literally just a mile away there's an airport, and so all these small aircraft are like flying low overhead, and as it gets darker, like the bats come flying out of the trees.
Damn.
And their set, their music was just like so moving and overwhelming, and the lead singer, I think her first name's Megan, she was on stage in this beautiful lace dress. She looked like a porcelain doll, and she was just singing in her beautiful voice this cover of a Soulja Boy song. I kid you not. It was a cover of a Soulja Boy song. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. And right when the chorus hits, the rain starts pouring down. And I was just like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, yeah, that's like insane.
Holy shit, yeah.
I think we caught that.
Yeah.
I like how it was just topped off with the fact that she was singing a Soulja Boy song. It wasn't like something like of her own.
That's amazing.
That broke me.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I cried. Tears of joy. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't.
You have nothing to
I
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I can
feel like
definitely
there's so
not
many-
top that, but I mean, but we all have like. I mean, do you have any causes that you feel?
I mean, Nick Cave, when we saw him at the Greek Theater, is definitely one
I
of
was
the
gonna
best.
say that,
Awesome.
yeah,
That was awesome. I loved that. I loved that part of the show where he was out in the middle of the crowd and he's like got his microphone. He's dressed in his suit and he's like out in the middle of the crowd in the front, like orchestra pit, and all these people are surrounding him, like staring up at him, like wide-eyed, just so mesmerized by his deep voice as he's crooning to us. And then I guess some guy was like up in his face because like out of nowhere he's like, "Hey, you with the iPhone," like this booming voice. The whole theater like pointing out this guy who's just like on his phone, and it was amazing.
What was it? It's like
Yeah.
the guy was like, he's like, "You're the man." He's like recording. He's like, "You're the man. You're the man." And he's like recording it, and he's like, "No, you're the man with the fucking iPhone."
That was
Yeah,
In the microphone, I was like, "Oh my god, okay."
yeah, it was. He totally called this dude out for like recording in his face.
But it's just like nuts to see him like part the sea of people. Like he just kind of walked out there, and it was just like freaking like Moses, just like walking out. Like everybody was like making room for him to sort of like waltz
Do
out
his
into
thing.
the crowd. I was like, God,
Oh
what
my
a baller!
god.
Yeah,
Jason, you
I
have
mean,
any?
it's crazy to have that level of like crowd command for making such like bummer music. I fucking love Nick Cave. Like his music is also super inspiring to me. But like he's like the Prince of Darkness. Like everyone describes it that way, and like it's exactly the vibe that he gives off live, and it's like really super epic. Really blew me away.
yeah. Jason.
I'm gonna have to go back to Coed, I think. But, so
kind of suck up, Jason.
You just sucked up to Brand.
no, it's
You're right.
we and a friend went like I think we just like turned 21, so it was a while ago, and we're like stoked. We went down to LA to see like 3 shows in like 3 days. We drove down. We like slept in our car. We met them. They were super cool. It was just like it was just the shows were amazing, and then just the trip, like going down there with a buddy that loved Coed as much as I did. Kind of camping out and just like seeing the city because I'd never really been to LA either, and we made so many friends. It was just it's a super fun weekend, and obviously they killed it on all 3 of the shows. So, and one was like at the Nokia Theater, which is like a huge theater, and then the other one was like San Diego, like House of Blues. So we got to see them at like a big venue, small venue. Got to meet them. It was a magical weekend, and yeah, that was probably one of the best. I guess technically not one show, but a couple shows.
One collective show. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
sure.
it.
Yeah, it's fun times.
There we go, guys. Next question. Another fun one. Favorite TV show, favorite movie?
Ugh.
My
My
movie's
favorite
easy. It's Dr. Strangelove.
I just watched that again. Like,
Wait, what?
It
movie?
never gets old. It's like excellent commentary. It's still very relevant, and it makes me laugh and also cry inside every time I watch it.
It's okay if you cry outside.
Wow.
TV show, you said?
Favorite
I've actually
movie
been
and
digging
TV show.
Fleabag. Yeah, Fleabag is what we've been watching it lately, and I actually really think Fleabag is hilarious.
Yeah.
I've completely dove into it and started binging it now, which is bad news.
Well, and that show keeps like throwing like it's just like curveball after curveball. Like it's never what you expect to happen, and the main character is so likable.
And unlikable.
And I know, she's a legitimately terrible human being that's
she's
extremely
like,
likable.
she's like a female Larry David. That's what I was saying.
Like a young female Larry David.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I'm super into horror movies, so any horror movies are generally I'm down with.
It would be The Thing, right?
The Thing, yeah.
Yeah.
John Carpenter's The Thing is probably the best horror film in my book.
Sabrina. Julian?
Oh,
Oh, we
Yeah,
lost your
Wayne's
audio.
World.
Oh, it's just like
Ah,
You hear me?
Party
Hello?
on, Sabrina.
Party on. Yeah, I love Wayne's World. Just wholesome family fun. You know, it's great. Everybody's great in that movie. And every time I watch it, I like notice a joke that I didn't notice before, and I've seen it like 50 times. So it's good. It's a good movie.
Oh man, movie. I probably say The Shining is my favorite movie. With that, yeah, but it's so hard to pick. A close follow-up might be Old Boy. If anyone's seen that, it's like a Korean movie. That movie. And TV show, I don't know. It's either between like Twin Peaks or Arrested Development.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good ones.
This is a hard one because there's love movies and TV shows, but one that pops into mind. I don't know. Has anyone ever seen Rushmore?
Oh yeah, Rushmore is awesome.
It's a great movie. I love Bill Murray, obviously. Jason Schwartzman. I think it's just magical, like the way all the characters, and just like it's got that Wes Anderson vibe, but it was like I think it was the second movie, so it was like right before he got into like his groove, but like it still has like the magic.
It's
great movie.
Definitely fell. Yeah.
And as TV shows go, that's another hard one. But I've been watching a lot of Simpsons lately. There's a Bartman right up there. That show. I'm in my childhood bedroom at the moment because I've been sick with COVID for the past week and a half.
Oh my god!
So there happens to be a. It's okay. I'm over it. It's good. We survived. But that show holds up so well. Like I've been watching. I started at season like 3 or so, and it's just I haven't gone back and watched it in a while, but it's a great fucking show. Oops.
Can we swear on live TV?
You could. This is first of all, this is not live, and secondly, yes, I make -2 cents from YouTube, so curse all you want. I don't care. I should have mentioned that. Honestly, I didn't know if you guys were curving it for a reason. I don't care. But anyway,
no, fuck that shit.
Anyway, guys, next question. Another fun one, music related, of course. If you were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one record you could bring with you, what would it be?
Oh my god!
A lot of these are like ultimatum questions.
I feel like I made it a little bit easier because it's a month and it's not like the rest of your life, you know.
It's not forever.
It's got a little bit of hardness, you know.
You know, Jungle's first album, their self-titled album.
Ooh, okay.
You know, if you're trapped on an island, man, you need to just boogie and feel good. Like, throw that on and just dance. Yeah.
It's great.
It's your way to survive.
It never gets old. I do not dance to music, but that, like, that's it.
This isn't really, like, conducive to being on a desert island, I guess, like Sam's, but Control by Pedro the Lion is one of my all-time favorite records that every single song totally blows me away, and it never gets old, and I've listened to it more times than I can count.
Oh, man.
But I don't know if I would make it through the month if that's all I had to listen to at Desert Island, but, you know, it would probably be worth it.
Some sad bastard music there, but it's good.
Yeah.
Let me guess.
This is hard.
Oh, for me? No.
Is it in Keeping Secrets?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Allman Brothers.
Or is it
Kevin.
Played, or...
I can't pick.
You said a month?
A month. Uno month.
Okay. There's a band called Foxing that I've been really into this album called Dealer, and just every time I listen to it, I find something. You know when you really like an album, and then every time you listen to it, you find something different that you didn't notice. So I'm kind of like re-listening to it, and every time I feel like it give me a straight month of one album, I'll be able to get every little detail about the album, and I'm kind of into it right now. So I think that's what I would choose, I guess.
I've been going over so many albums in my head.
It has to be one month.
Just 1 month? I would probably pick something fun. I wouldn't go for Control by Pedro the Lion. I really like, speaking of getting back into early 2000s electronica bands, I really have gotten back into the Faints discography recently. So I think like Dance Macabre is like a great album that I could listen to for a month, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not that one.
Island Dance Party. That's where I'm at.
I'm gonna take that to a dance party too and go Daft Punk Random Access Memory, and I could listen to that for way more than a month.
Good pick.
Every song in that album.
Yeah. Good pick.
Yeah, great album.
Two
Well,
thumbs
I'm just
up.
gonna wallow in sadness on my island while you all are having so much fun.
Sad Boy Island.
I feel yes. Evan picked the saddest one. I feel like in the entire group of people here.
One of the saddest albums ever.
Oh my god. Well,
I
great
didn't pick
pick.
Hospice by the Antlers. That would have been too.
Or
Well,
like Jason Molina. No, Jason Molina.
Jason
either.
Molina, yeah, that would be rough. It would be a rough month.
Yeah.
well, you guys had some great recommendations. If people can go check those out, obviously, and hopefully you guys aren't stuck on a desert island for a month. But you know, but the last thing, guys, the most important thing, the reason you're here, of course, tell them about Treasvre, where they can find you at on social media, and anything you guys got coming up, and pretty much anything else you would like to plug while you're on here.
Follow our Instagram because that's where we hang out the most. And you can find all of our other details on Instagram. So it's at Treasvre Music. Secret that you need to know is that Treasure spelled with a V. Spell it with a V instead of a U. And yeah, Treasvre Music is our handle on all platforms. So you can find us there on Twitter and on Facebook and yeah, anywhere we have a handle, that's it. And then our website, treasvremusic.com. You can find pretty much everything there as well. But yeah, follow us on Instagram. We like to post stories and, you know, chat it up. If you guys want to shoot us a message or, you know, want to share any thoughts on the tracks we have out. Yeah, we love to hear what y'all think.
And then we released Devils earlier this year, but just another reminder for that, we're coming out with a music video for it on April 2nd, which is really awesome. We worked with this guy, Michael Beltran, who is an amazing director, and he really outdid himself with this video. So we're pretty stoked about it.
Sounds awesome.
It's cool.
Well, go check out Treasures. I want to give a shout out to Erica again. I know I shouted her out at the beginning of the video, but I can't give Muddy Paw enough recommendations, so go check them out. Lovely people. They do a great job, so go give them some love. But if you love Treasvre as much as I did having this great conversation, check the links below. You can find out about their playlist, where you can find them out on social media. Go follow them on their website, Instagram, YouTube, all that sort of stuff. You know the deal. So go check them out there. Also, make sure to tweet at Aphex Twins and to follow Troy. Listen, I am forgetting about this shit. We on this.
Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent.
Do not tweet at Ted Nugent.
Don't do the Ted Nugent. That's sad. No. But go.
I don't even think you
I feel like it's secretly going to be added into your playlist. Ted Nugent's, low key. Please don't.
I almost watched it as a joke. Yeah.
Please don't. But but anyway, go check out them. Seriously, it was a pleasure interviewing Treasvre. And if you enjoyed this interview, share, like it, subscribe. It helps me out, helps me find more people like you that are interested in music. So it's always greatly appreciated. And thanks, of course, to Treasvre for coming on today, doing the chitty chat.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Todd. This was fun.